Now we have a look at a bird eyes view kind of a thing as to what all is included within the definition of salaries. So, how does the computation of salary works? There are three things. The first one is computation of salary, which is governed by section 15. Now this section 15 we have already seen. In the initial slide, you would have seen that what I said was that salaries cover basically section 15, 16 and 17. So this salary we have already covered in my previous lecture in the previous slide. So salary due from an employer, former employer, salary paid or allowed by an employer or former employer, or arrears of salary paid or allowed by an employer or a former employer are included in salaries. Now once I calculate my salary on this basis, and what do you mean by salary is something which is dealt with in section 17. Then there are certain deductions, very minimal, which is entertainment allowance and professional and employment tax. This we are going to see again in the subsequent slides. And there is section 17 which defines what do you mean by salary. There is a concept of perquisite. Perquisite is nothing but basically some kind of a benefit provided by the employer to the employee, and profits in lieu of salary. Again, we discuss this later in detail, but when I say that what do you mean by, or rather what all do we study when we study the chapter of taxation of salaries, these are the 3 points that you kind of keep in mind. These are the 3 sections which basically deal with all that you have to learn. And there are certain subsets of these which are how do you compute your salary on various items which an employer might provide to the employee, but that is something which is going to come as we move further in this case. But as of now, just remember there are 3 particular sections which deal with salaries. First is my computation of salary. Second is once I compute my salary, then what are the deductions I allow. And then the last one is, for the purpose of section 15, what do you mean by salary, and certain other terms which are relevant to compute your taxation under the head salaries.